Brazil is a vast and culturally diverse country, known for its warm hospitality, passion for soccer, and vibrant traditions like Carnival. However, as in any society, there are unwritten social norms that are important to understand in order to avoid misunderstandings and to better integrate into the community. These taboos reflect the values and sensitivities of the Brazilian people, and it is essential to consider them. In this video, we will explore 10 of these taboos, examining their cultural roots and social importance. Number 10. Discussing salaries and income. In Brazil, the issue of income is a very sensitive topic. Economic inequalities are a well-rooted reality in the country, making discussions about earnings a potential area of tension. While in some Western cultures it is more common to speak openly about money, in Brazil there is a certain reserve on this topic to avoid comparisons that could make someone uncomfortable. This taboo is particularly noticeable in mixed social settings, where people from different economic backgrounds come together. In these situations, avoiding the topic of personal finances is a way to maintain harmony and mutual respect. If the topic arises, it is advisable to handle it delicately, avoiding ostentation or direct comparisons. Number 9. Refusing food during a visit. Brazilian hospitality is renowned worldwide, and offering food or drinks to a guest is a manifestation of this warm welcome. When visiting a Brazilian home, the host feels obligated to offer something to eat or drink as a sign of respect and generosity. Refusing such an offer can be interpreted as rejecting the hospitality itself, which might offend the host. This taboo is particularly strong in rural areas and small communities where hospitality traditions are more pronounced. However, it is also present in large cities. Even if you are not hungry or thirsty, it is considered polite to accept at least a small taste of what is offered as a sign of appreciation. In this context, food is not just nourishment, but also a way to build social bonds and strengthen relationships. Number 8. Criticizing the national soccer team. Soccer in Brazil is a cultural phenomenon that goes far beyond just a sport. The Seleção, the Brazilian national team, represents a symbol of national unity, and its victories are celebrations of national pride. The passion for soccer is evident everywhere, from children playing in the streets to large stadiums where thousands of fans gather. During international competitions like the World Cup, Brazil literally comes to a standstill. Schools, offices, and even businesses pause to allow everyone to watch the matches. Criticizing the team or its players, especially during these times, can evoke very strong emotional reactions. This is because the Seleção is seen not just as a sports team, but as an extension of the nation itself. In a country where soccer is almost a religion, criticism is perceived as a lack of respect towards something sacred. While criticism may sometimes be accepted among local fans, it should be expressed with great caution and preferably in a constructive manner. Number 7. Discussing politics or religion openly. In Brazil, politics and religion are topics that can quickly turn into heated and divisive discussions. The Brazilian political landscape is marked by strong polarization, and political opinions can be deeply rooted. Similarly, Brazil is a multi-religious country, but religion is a deeply personal issue for many. Discussing politics openly can lead to conflicts, especially if the people involved have opposing views. The same goes for religion, where differences in beliefs can easily trigger misunderstandings or offense. For this reason, in social situations, it's often better to avoid these topics unless you know the person well and are sure that the discussion can take place in an atmosphere of mutual respect. In any case, it is crucial to approach these subjects with tact and openness, always striving to avoid confrontational tones. Number 6. Disrespecting family hierarchies. Family occupies a central place in Brazilian culture, and within the family, respect for elders and hierarchies is fundamental. Elders in particular are seen as the pillars of the family, the keepers of wisdom and traditions. Disrespecting their role, ignoring their advice, or failing to treat them with the due deference is seen as a serious lack of respect. This respect manifests in many ways, such as seeking the elders' opinions before making important decisions or observing a certain formality in their treatment. Young people are taught from an early age to show respect to elders, both within the family and in society at large. This taboo reflects the importance of family in Brazilian life and the ongoing influence that older generations have within family dynamics. Number 5, avoiding physical contact. Physical contact is an essential part of interpersonal communication in Brazil. Brazilians are known for being affectionate and warm, and physical gestures such as hugs, kisses on the cheek, and touching during conversations are common. This behavior is an expression of openness and closeness, reflecting a strong sense of community and human connection. Avoiding physical contact in Brazil can be interpreted as a sign of detachment or coldness, and can create a sense of discomfort or social distance. Even in professional relationships, it is common to exchange a hug or a kiss on the cheek during greetings. Adapting to this form of communication may take time, especially for those coming from more reserved cultures, but it is an important aspect of better integrating into Brazilian society and building positive relationships. Number 4, making racist jokes or comments. Brazil is a multi-ethnic nation with a population descending from a variety of origins, including African, Indigenous, European, and Asian. Despite its cultural diversity, the country has a complicated history of racism and discrimination, inherited from centuries of slavery and social injustices. Making racist jokes or comments is unacceptable and can cause deep offense. This taboo is particularly significant in a context where racial identity issues are still very present. Although Brazilian society is generally tolerant, many stereotypes and prejudices persist. Being sensitive and respectful towards different ethnicities is crucial to avoid misunderstandings and to contribute to a more equitable and inclusive social environment. Number 3, being punctual for social events. The concept of time in Brazil is often more flexible compared to other cultures. While punctuality is appreciated and required in professional settings, it is common to arrive a bit late to social events. This social delay is not seen as a sign of disrespect, but rather as a normal and acceptable behavior. The idea of punctuality also varies depending on the region of Brazil. In large cities like São Paulo or Rio de Janeiro, there might be greater tolerance for delays, while in other areas, especially in smaller communities, arriving closer to the scheduled time might be seen as more polite. However, a delay of 15-30 minutes is generally considered acceptable and even expected in many social contexts. Number 2, discussing sex-related issues openly. Despite the image of an open and sensual society, talking about sex explicitly can be considered inappropriate in many Brazilian contexts. This taboo is particularly evident in more formal or conservative situations, where discussions on these topics need to be handled with discretion. Brazil is a country with strong Catholic influences, and in many communities, especially outside large urban centers, issues related to sexuality can be seen as private matters. However, in large cities like Rio de Janeiro or São Paulo, and in younger or more progressive contexts, there is greater openness towards these topics. In any case, it is always important to assess the context and the people present before engaging in conversations about sexual subjects to avoid offending or making anyone uncomfortable. Number 1, disrespecting Carnival. Carnival is one of Brazil's most important and iconic celebrations. This event, which attracts millions of people from around the world, is not just a party but a profound expression of Brazilian culture and identity. During Carnival, cities transform into a whirlwind of colors, music, and dance, with participation from people of all ages and social backgrounds. Not participating in the celebrations or downplaying the importance of Carnival can be perceived as a lack of respect for one of the country's most deeply rooted traditions. Even those who do not actively participate in parades or parties tend to recognize the significance of Carnival and celebrate in their own way. For Brazilians, Carnival is a time of unity, collective joy, and cultural expression, and joining in this celebration is a way to connect with the spirit and essence of Brazil. Understanding these aspects of Brazilian culture not only helps avoid misunderstandings, but also enriches the experience of those who wish to truly immerse themselves in the daily life of Brazil. That said, I hope this provides you with a clear and in-depth view of some of the most significant and deeply rooted taboos in Brazilian culture. Continue following us to discover more curiosities in upcoming videos. See you soon!